So, OD is a collaborative process in which the client gets involved, and it is the joint collection of the client and of the change agent or the consultant. How? By analysis of data. Okay. So as I told you, now HR is also getting into the number games of companies. We are also trying to analyze logically. We will take data. You would see other departments, business who drive sales in companies, they will be talking about numbers, right? Last financial year, we achieved this much productivity. This was the number of sales, and this was the kind of business that we got. However, now HR also has been getting involved in the number game, where we also analyze in the last quarter or in the last year, this is what we've done, and this is the kind of performance upgradation or performance improvement that we have seen. So these many employees have performed better than last year. So we have also started getting into that data mode. Okay, so analyzing all the data collaboratively by the client and by the consultant, we will drive out a plan for OD. Okay, so there has to be a comparison game, right? So emphasis is on a continuous and participative diagnosis. So this means involvement.
Could you please repeat the third point again, please?
This one? Okay. See, OD.
Yes.
The plan of OD or the decision of OD is not just by one person. Obviously, it is identified or it is diagnosed by the top management of the company. Okay, people who are lower down in the levels, they wouldn't have attained a stage where they decide that company needs a change. Am I right? So it is the senior people, obviously, who will decide where the change needs to be done, right? It is the senior management. However, though the decision is taken by the senior management, it has to be a collaborative effort by the management and the HR. And if we are hiring any consultant from outside for OD, then it has to be a collaborative effort in which all of us, we sit together and analyze realistic data. Okay, we have to analyze the realistic data. We have to do analysis of where we need the OD, why we need the organization development. We will say organization development is needed because in the last few years, our performance or productivity of the company has gone down by this much percentage. Okay, involvement of human resource has gone down by this much percentage. Interest has gone this much down. And attrition level or people leaving due to disinterest in this work has gone up by this much level. So that will be our participation from HR, right? So we will give all data related to employee and their performance and their, non-performance, everything. So their attrition, leaving, everything that will be given by HR. So what happens from different departments, it will be a collaborative effort in deciding that yes, OD is required. Okay. So the fourth one, OD consultant may use tools such as questionnaire. Okay, that is, they will do a survey and interview schedules. Okay, so obviously to identify whether OD is needed or not, we will have to do a survey. We will have to understand, right? We will have to analyze. So how will we analyze? We will do a questionnaire. We will do a survey also with the human resources, with the employees, right? So OD consultant will start doing a survey, and if possible, they will start taking interviews. That is, one by one, they will sit with the eminent people, with the important people, and then they will start asking questions related to OD. Okay, why do you think it is necessary? What should we do? What is your expectation? What is the market trend and all that? Okay, so this is the diagnostic phase where we identify the area where OD is needed, and we dig out all the data and everything possible which gives us the best diagnosis result. Okay, and then we proceed with the planning phase. Okay, in brief, OD diagnosis attempts to analyze the current state of the organization in terms of various structures, systems, and process in order to identify actual and potential strengths and weaknesses. So it will help us understand where do we stand currently. Where does the organization stand currently? Okay. So this point is clear. Diagnosis point is clear, guys. Okay. Second point, second phase is action plan or strategy for the development. Okay. Second stage of OD process is action plan, sharing of joint diagnosis of problems by the consultant and client team to the top management in a OD workshop. So here, after diagnosis, we share the analysis report to the top management. In this workshop, top management jointly develops action plans and strategies in order to form interventions, example, team building and OD grid, etc., to bring about the changes or improvements. So interventions means how should we take this further? Okay, so the top management and the consultant and whoever is involved, HR, whoever is involved in the OD process, so we sit and then try to figure out a plan. Okay, implementation of interventions. So third stage of OD process is the implementation of interventions. Implementation of action plan changes through intervention. Okay, so implementation of action plan happens and long drawn series of actions. So as I told you, it is a long-term plan and it happens over the years gradually. So then in implementation, we start, implementing the action that we have planned. Okay, and it may last several months, such as grid OD intervention. So there are certain models that generally consultants follow for implementing the OD plan. And the most famous ones are given by Blake and Morton. Okay, so this you can go through, if you want, you can go through it in Google. Okay, for us right now at this stage, because we've just started our training in HR, right? So it is enough for us to know that these are the phases in OD and how we need to implement it. Okay, so what method you want to use to implement OD, we can get into it later in other sessions if we want. Okay, but for now, it is important for us to understand that during implementation phase, all the data analysis is done and presented to the senior management, and then we start drawing series of actions. Okay, so this phase of interventions of OD process takes place under conditions of unfrozenness, mobilizing efforts which is necessary for changes to have an impact. Okay, now this means that people should be ready for the change. Okay, the company should be ongoing. It shouldn't be in frozen state. Okay, it should be still in a working condition, and people are aware of the changes that are going to happen. Okay, allowing changes to stabilize and to permeate the culture of the organization to ensure that the positive element of change program are diffused to other parts of the organization. So as I told you, all the whatever plans we have decided in terms of OD, it needs to be communicated to the employees. Okay, and whoever is involved in OD, everybody should be, all the information should be infused and transmitted to everything that would be affected by the OD plan. Okay.
Plans will be
Sorry.
discussed, or plans will be discussed with everyone, or it will be told to everyone?
Yeah, so plan will not be discussed with everyone. See, it depends on the levels. So whichever person is a decision maker, okay, it is generally done. The plan is discussed only with the senior management people and whoever is involved in making the organization development. Okay, in going through, but we will have to inform each and every employee in the company. All the employees have to be informed that these are the changes that are going on in the company. Otherwise, they will not cooperate. If they are not, people are not aware of what is happening in the company, they will not cooperate, and it will be a hindrance for organization development to make the positive changes. Okay, so it is very important to inform each and every one what is happening. So the information should be diffused to other parts of the organization, whichever parts, whichever employee is being. Okay. And lastly, feedback of changes, evaluation, and making modification phase. So after the OD process starts, people are told the plan is implemented. Then after that, we need to start taking feedback. We have to start reviewing. So this phase consists of monitoring and reviewing the progress of actions by collecting feedback about the changes introduced. So we start collecting feedback, then we start reviewing the process or the progress of OD. Making modification in case need arises. Mid-course correction. So as you start a certain process, if it is going out of the way or if you need to make modifications to reach where you need to go, okay, then that needs to be done accordingly. Okay, so any modifications required, that needs to be done in the fourth phase. So we start taking feedback and trying to check whether whatever was planned is going as per the plan or not. Okay, if the progress is in a good or bad way, how it is going. If we need to make modifications, we need to do it right there. Okay, so in case some new problems are revealed in the collection of data or survey consultation process, another phase is commenced. So if there are any new problems arising, then we'll have to make a slight change or tweak in the plan. Okay. To achieve complete success, it has to be ensured client team is competent enough to maintain the change system without the support of the consultant. So as I told you, generally OD consultants are required for this process, right? So an OD consultant has to ensure that whatever phase that they have helped the client with, they have to ensure after they leave, the client is able to progress in the new phase or the changed environment by their own without the consultant's help. So the consultant has to leave them at that stage. So the consultant will have to train and will have to tell them that this is what it is, this is what we've done, and this is how you're supposed to take it forward. Okay. So to maintain the change system without the, okay. To achieve complete success, it has to be ensured that the client team is competent enough to maintain the change system without the support of the consultant. So the consultant has to make sure that the clients can function on their own after the changes have been made. As there is a tendency among organizations to revert to their original states. So people are so comfortable working in their old ways and working in their earlier style, right? Doing their old work. So there are always chances that they revert, that they flip back to the old system. Okay, so the OD consultant has to make sure that it progresses in the new system itself. Okay, only after that the consultant can withdraw. That means go back. Okay. OD practitioners, both internal and external consultants, may counsel decision makers on an individual basis to work on improving work relationships among the members of the group. So that is what. So whatever I said, training the people, okay. So training the management, everything. So the OD practitioners, that is the consultant or internally whoever is involved, okay, we have to see that the improving the work relation between everyone sets in very well and the team can function independently. Okay. So OD is a long range effort to improve an organization's problem solving and renewal process. OD is a long range effort to improve an organization's problem solving and renewal process, particularly through more effective and collaborative management, already discussed, right, of organization culture with special emphasis on the culture of formal work teams with the assistance of change agent and technology of applied behavioral science, including action research. So it is saying that OD is a long-term approach. It is a collaborative approach of the management, and we have to infuse a very formal culture, organization culture within the teams. Okay, and this is going to be done with the help of change agents like consultant and implementation of new technology. Okay, fine. So these are the few companies who have gone through OD. Okay, and the examples I told you yesterday, right? So did you get time to go through these case studies?
There was no light on you.
Hmm?
There was no light.
Fine. So for yeah, tell me, Mala.
Light came during the night time.
Okay. So I think during the monsoons we are going to face a lot of all these issues, no?
Mm.
And summers there's a lot of load shedding also.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So see, Shreyasha, we had discussed about few companies. Okay, these are few companies that I chalked out who have gone through organizational development. Okay, so there are a few companies like Amazon, like Google, Starbucks, and Walmart. Have you heard of Walmart? Guys,
Yeah.
you've heard of
Yes.
Walmart? It's a retail chain, right? Starbucks, we all know. Starbucks. You've heard of Starbucks?
Yes.
So Google, we all know. Amazon, we all know, right? So Amazon is the online retail giant recently committed to spending $700 million on retraining its workers. Okay. This forward-thinking project will help its own employees stay resilient in the years to come. So they have spent so much money in retraining its workers or employees to set a forward-thinking project.
Good.
Resilient means, what is resilience? Whatever changes are there, upcoming changes are there, okay? So employees, they are already trained on that. So what is the major change? The major changes, we are all going through this pandemic, the way we are working, our work style, right? Um, our teamwork efforts, our coordination, everything, the way we work has changed. So I'm not too sure if they are talking only about that, but I'm sure they are talking about, the change in the work style, the work environment, and everything. So resilience is they are preparing their current employees in the new ways to work, the new styles of working, so they can withstand the new styles of working. We are all used to some kind of working style, right? But now we are changing. India is also changing. The way we work, it is changing, right? You're all, most of the jobs that you can see in the market now are work from home, because we are not expecting offices, big companies to start functioning, people coming to work in another 2 years. Okay, so people have started giving off the jobs and changing their roles. All are from work from home. They are changing the methods of working, except for Siliguri, right? It looks like pandemic is over in Siliguri. I can see people walking without masks on road. Okay, so this is the kind of ODE that they have conducted. Okay, so it will also help the business develop employee training programs that keep the company relevant, modern, and cutting edge. So major OD change that they've done is spending so much money on retraining its workers. So on training. Okay. So this is what they've done. So Google's culture of learning, according to former Google executive, a culture that emphasizes learning is important to long-term business growth. So continuous updation of its employees will definitely help in business growth. So most of the big companies are spending a lot in training their employees. Okay, a culture of learning is essential for businesses that continually grow and transform. So it is not just a one-time training program that they're doing. This is an ongoing training and development program. So most of the companies have a different training and development department these days, right? So they keep planning on what kind of training they should give to the employees on a continuous basis. Okay, so for every set of employees, they keep planning the training program, and they keep implementing the training plans. So most of the companies are believing in this. Okay. Starbucks has taken environmental initiatives. The well-known coffee company introduced a variety of environmentally friendly initiatives that include recycling, paper cup reduction, energy consumption, and so on. Naturally, these long-term changes will positively impact the environment, but they will also improve the company's image and its bottom line. Okay, so this is how they are placing themselves in the market. They are being environmentally aware. They are kind of supporting the environment. Environment friendly initiatives is what they are taking. Okay, so that they stand out in the market. Okay, at the same time, in the long term, it is going to help all of us. Okay. So not, it might not look like a very big change, but yeah, the way they function, it is different. Walmart's long-term digital transformation program. It's no secret that Amazon and other online retailers have put pressure on Walmart to transform. Obviously, the physical retail shops are being affected because of online business, right? This we all know. So Walmart is a they have physical stores. This is being affected by companies like Amazon and all who are doing online deliveries. The US retailer has responded by engaging in complex long-term digital transformation efforts. So I'm sure they are also doing the online delivery and phone shopping and the online shopping and all that, like how Big Bazaar and all are doing these days. Big Bazaar, Spencer's, all these, right? So these include a variety of digital adoption programs, the introduction of new customer services, and more. So this is a huge revolution that they had to undertake. I'm sure all these projects refer to the pandemic situation. So a lot of companies had to go through OD. Nirmala is getting ready to go now. No? Fine. So we've actually finished OD. Okay, I will be talking about organization behavior now. Okay, so if you want to exit, you can. Nirmala, you can refer to the session later. Okay?
Okay, then.
Fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, so see, Shreyasha, you will come across various terminologies which sound very similar. Okay, I want you to write it down. Just write it down. Okay, the first that we were discussing was organization development. Okay, and when you go through the slides, you will come across other terminologies also. So just be aware of these because in the world of HR, these terminologies are very, very common and you'll find it very confusing. Okay, Bhavna and Nirmala has already made a note yesterday. We've discussed also, right? So organization development is one, organization change is one. Okay.
Climate.
Yeah, organizational climate is one, and organization culture is one. Yeah. Good. My mic.
Done.
So you've written down culture, Climate,
Yes, climate
also
change development.
development. Okay. So another concept that we are introducing is organizational behavior. Okay. It is a long slide, but presentation, but I won't be taking you through to all of the slides. I will just highlight on the important ones because you are starters and it is not necessary for us to know everything because we're not sitting for an MBA exam, right? So we just need to understand the concept. What is organization behavior? Okay. So just tell me, guys, as you hear this word or this concept, organization behavior, what does it? What do you think it means? Organization behavior.
Like how everyone should behave, like proper kinds of manners, interaction with everyone. That is the proper behavior we should carry.
Okay. So you mean to say behavior in the organization, expected behavior, right?
Yes.
Bhavna?
Whatever she said, the behavior, how they behave, it will, like you mentioned about the climate yesterday, so that will create the climate for the newcomers. They will get the good vibes if the behavior is good in the company.
Hmm. So, what will decide on how somebody should behave in an organization? See, everybody
So
comes
this,
from different backgrounds, right? Everybody comes from different education systems, different places, different backgrounds, different experiences, and their learning. So the way they behave will not be similar at all, right?
mm,
So setting the standards as to how a person should behave. Okay, so who is going to decide on that? How do we set that?
leaders or the direct managers who
Okay, so
handles the team. Yeah.
yeah, so the organization culture is what comes into play. So here, the values of the organization. Okay, what is our ethics? Okay, and what is our belief system as an organization? We will have to strongly work on that. We have to strongly communicate that to the employees. Okay, so it is the values and belief system of an organization which is going to set the behavior of the employees in the company. Okay, it's the work, it's the organization culture. However, organizational behavior, okay, so there are a lot of other factors other than this that influence the uh, behavior of an employee in an organization. There are a lot of factors that affect the behavior of an employee in an organization. So we're just going to understand the concept of organizational behavior. Okay. See, the study of organizations and of collection of people within them together comprises the field of organizational behavior. That means the study of organization, okay, and of the collection of people within them together compromises the field of organizational behavior. So all these concepts are interlinked: organization climate, organization culture, and organizational behavior. Okay, so these are all interlinked. So while we are studying organizations and the kind of people, not the kind, but the people within the organization, that will be referred to as organizational behavior. Okay. So OB is the study of human behavior in organizational settings. The interface between human behavior and the organization itself. Okay, so it is the study of human behavior in organizational systems and the interface between human behavior and organization is the organizational behavior. So OB is also a field of study that investigates, okay, the impact that individuals, groups, and structure have on behavior within the organization. Okay, so it is the field of study that investigates the impact that each individual, okay, group of people, teams, and the structure of the organization has on the behavior within the organization. Okay, so as I told you, different people come from different backgrounds, right? So the study, the investigation of how people individually they behave, the group of people, how they behave, and what is the structure of the company determines the organization behavior for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving an organization effectively. Okay, so how they behave in order to improve the organization effectiveness, that is improving organization's performance, okay, that will be organizational behavior. Okay. So see, this is all to help you understand in more in detail. Okay, organization is a combination of humanity and technology. Do we agree to this? What is an organization? Who makes an organization? Obviously, the people who work in it and the kind of technology or the system that we take in to help these humans or people perform, right? So the humans and technology makes the organization. Okay. And organization behavior is the study and application of knowledge about how people act within the organization. Okay, it's not how personally they behave, but in an organization setup, what is their behavior is called organization behavior. It is a human tool for human benefit. That means, yeah, so humans behavior it is interrelated. Okay, so it's more of a organization behavior is more of a psychological field. So it is very related to the psychology of employees or humans. Okay, so a complex set of forces affects the nature of organizations today. Okay, the nature of an organization can be affected, or there are forces that affect the nature of